The house is quiet this morning. It's been quiet for 6 years now, more or less, but some mornings the quiet has a different quality to it, heavier, like the house itself is waiting for something that isn't coming. I made my coffee, sat down, and I've been here for an hour without doing much of anything. I used to be uncomfortable with that, with stillness, with time that wasn't producing something. My whole life I had a slight restlessness underneath everything, a sense that sitting quietly was a kind of failure, that a man should be doing, building, preparing, moving forward. I treated stillness like a problem to be solved. I solved it constantly, kept myself busy for 60 years, and what I have to show for all that motion mostly is the memory of people I loved sitting in rooms I was passing through. Maggie used to read in the evenings, the front room, the chair by the lamp, a book she'd been working through for weeks. I'd come in sometimes, see her there, and keep moving into the kitchen, back to my desk, somewhere useful. I told myself she was occupied. She was fine. She wasn't asking for anything. She wasn't asking. That part was true. But there's a difference between someone not asking and someone having long since stopped expecting. I could have just sat with her, not talked, not done anything particular, just been in the same room, present, breathing the same quiet. She would have liked that. I know she would have, because in the last 2 years of her life, when things had slowed down enough that sitting still stopped feeling like waste, I did that. I'd come and sit near her, and neither of us would say much, and it was the most at home I ever felt. Took me until she was dying to learn how to be still beside her. Daniel was probably 10 or 11 the last time he sat on the floor near me, just to be near me. Children do that when they're small. They orbit you, want proximity for its own sake, no agenda. He stopped somewhere around that age. I don't know exactly when, because I wasn't paying close enough attention to notice the last time it happened. You never know it's the last time. If I had known, I would have stayed still, put the papers down, let him orbit. Claire used to bring me things from the yard when she was small. Rocks, mostly. A feather once, a piece of bark she thought looked interesting. I'd look briefly and say something and set it aside. Now I keep a cardinal feather on the windowsill that Ruth found in the garden and brought over for no particular reason, and I look at it every morning like it means something. It means something because someone stopped long enough to think I might want it. I didn't stop like that for Claire. Not enough. I received what she brought me and moved on to whatever was next. And she eventually stopped bringing things, grew up as children do, and carried her interior life somewhere I wasn't. The thing about sitting still with someone, really still, not waiting for the conversation to get productive, not planning the next thing, is that it tells them something that words don't quite manage. It tells them they're worth your unhurried time, that you're not just present, because nothing more important has come up yet, that they are in that moment the most important thing. I said I love you to Maggie regularly. I meant it every time, but I rushed past her in the evenings for decades, and those two facts live side by side without cancelling each other out. Love is also time. Love is also the willingness to be in a room without an exit strategy. Ruth and I sit on the porch sometimes on the better evenings. We don't talk much. She'll say something, I'll say something, long silences in between. She doesn't seem to need the silence filled. Neither do I anymore. It took me until my 80s to become someone who can do that without the restlessness climbing up my back. I wish I'd learnt it at 30. Owen visited at Christmas. He's 11, serious for his age. Reminds me a little of Daniel at that age. We sat together after dinner while the others were in the kitchen. He didn't say much. I didn't push for conversation. We just sat there and watched the snow. And after a while he leaned against my arm slightly, the way children do without deciding to. I stayed very still. I didn't want to move, didn't want to break whatever that was, that simple, unremarkable, completely ordinary moment of a boy leaning against his grandfather in a warm room while snow came down outside. I've thought about it every day since, not because it was extraordinary, because it wasn't, because that's what I missed. Over and over for 50 years, not the dramatic moments, the ordinary ones, the ones that don't feel significant until you're 84 and you realize that they were in fact everything. I don't have advice exactly. I'm past the age of advice. I just know that the moments I return to, the ones that feel most like what a life is supposed to feel like, are the ones where I was fully stopped, fully there, not doing, not moving, not being useful, just sitting still with someone I loved. There weren't enough of those moments. There could have been more.